Hello, Gemini. This is your personal horoscope for December 2023. I'm going to give it to you real short and simple. So, the main focus of this month is on Sagittarius and Capricorn. Why do I say that? Because when we're talking about, a monthly, weekly type of basis, we really want to focus more on the inner planets, right? And as far as the inner planets go, you can see that, Sun and Mars start out in Sagittarius. Mercury starts out in Capricorn. As we get later into the month, the Sun and Mercury will actually switch. Sun will enter Capricorn, Mercury will retrograde back into Sagittarius. But either way, the main focus of all three of these planets is again on Sagittarius and Capricorn. What this means for you is that these planets are about as far away from you as possible. They are completely on the other side of the chart. So we can actually get a lot of meaning from this. For one, it just means that the focus is not so much on you this month. You may feel a bit out of your element, a bit drained. You may be kind of lacking energy. This is not entirely a bad thing, though. Sometimes it can be really refreshing to not have all the activity and drama directly fixated on yourself, right? So you can kind of just take a break, hopefully. If you don't have a strong workload, that's kind of what I would recommend. Another meaning or symbolism that we can get from the position of these planets is that the activity for you, it's not on you directly, it's on your relationship. So the people that are in your life, they may be where the activity, the energy, the drama is more so fixated on. Okay, so you're taking a break. It's more about the people in your life, right? So you may get more enjoyment from your relationships. That's where the activity is. It's not inherently a good or bad thing necessarily. That's just kind of how it is this time of year for you. The only other kind of main inner planet that we haven't talked about is Venus. As we start out the month, Venus will be in Libra for just a few days. This is generally pretty strong for you, pretty powerful. Venus will still be in your, the fifth sign from Gemini. So it's lighting up, your creative pursuits, your self-expression, etc. Again, this will only last for a few days, though. Venus will enter Scorpio. It'll spend most of the month in Scorpio. We'll talk about what that means. And then by the end of the month, Venus will actually enter Sagittarius, where it's going to light up your, relationships and such. All right. Okay, but now that I've given you a very general idea of what to expect for this month, now I want to go specifically and give you some key dates of some changes that we can expect, and I'll talk about what they mean for you specifically. All right. So the first date where we can expect a kind of change and ingression is, we've already kind of talked about this. This is December 1st, where Mercury, your ruler, will leave Sagittarius and enter Capricorn. Okay, so in other words, it's leaving the seventh sign from Gemini and entering the eighth sign, so kind of like your eighth house. This means that rather than directly focusing and being so busy just with your relationships, now, at least mentally speaking, the focus is more so becoming on finances for you. So shared resources, I'm talking bank accounts, credit cards, stocks, bonds, whatever you're investing in, wherever you owe money to other people or institutions, or where money is owed to you, that's more so where there may be more activity moving forward. There may be more of a busyness there, and you may be learning or communicating more about these things as well, learning more about your finances, making changes there, tweaking, editing, adjusting, etc. That's more so going to be the focus as we go forward. For Monday, December 4th, this is the day where Venus leaves Libra and enters Scorpio. So generally, I hate to view these things as good or bad, but I do think this is a little bit more challenging for you. Venus is leaving your fifth house and entering your sixth house. Wherever Venus is, Venus tends to give us, positivity, energy, abundance, pleasure, right? Pleasure, desire, attraction. Venus shows what we're valuing. So rather than the focus being so much on your creative pursuits and self-expression like it has been up till now, with Venus entering your sixth house, it's more on the maintenance of life, lifestyle things. So like nutrition, exercise, balancing your budget. These things are definitely not exciting, right? But they are parts of your life that you need to maintain and have a healthy relationship with in order for your life to be fun or exciting, right? So definitely not the most fun transit, but this is more of a useful transit, going forward, for most of this month I'm sorry, I left my window open because it's been so cool here in Florida and I'm enjoying it. But anyway, so with Venus entering your sixth house, not the most fun transit, but this may be very useful, for most of this month. Maybe you're just enjoying improving your life in some kind of way, improving, making changes to your lifestyle, etc. That, Venus and Scorpio shows that these are the things that you're more valuing and more enjoying and having just general success in going forward. December 6th, Neptune turns direct at 24 degrees Pisces. This is your 10th house, so this is really affecting you in a very strong way. Pisces represents the part of your life that is the most public. It's having to do with your career, your reputation. Neptune has been in this area for a very long time. So for the past 10 years or more, you may have been kind of lacking direction in your career, right? You are Gemini, so you're generally very open and adaptable anyway, but especially the last, I honestly don't know how long, because Neptune's been in Pisces longer than I've been into astrology. It's been over 12, 13 years. You can let me know in the comments if you know, when did Neptune go into Pisces? It was a long time ago. But now, the reason why this is relevant is because with Neptune turning direct, its energies will affect us all in a more literal, more physical, more visceral type of way. So going forward from December 6th, you may notice maybe on the one hand more delusion or confusion with your reputation and or career. The way that you are being perceived may not be accurate. Others kind of project onto you. They're not really seeing you clearly. You may just not be, you're not coming across straightforward, that may or may not have to do with things that you're doing. It's just kind of how it is, if that makes sense. So on the one hand, yes, delusion or confusion with your career path, reputation. But Neptune also brings us the potential for intuition, spirituality, enlightenment too. So it does both. It does the confusion and delusion, but also the potential for enlightenment. It just kind of depends with Neptune. It's hard to pin down or to know how to go about it. You have to kind of just surrender to it and embrace it with Neptune. So honestly, I don't really have any advice other than to just kind of go with it. You may need to be adaptable, or it may benefit you to have a more spiritual focus on your career and reputation going forward. December 12th, this is where we have a new moon in Sagittarius at 20 degrees. And I'm showing you pretty much the exact chart for the new moon. You can see it on the right side of the chart here. This is a big deal because Sagittarius is directly opposite you. So this will affect you in a pretty strong way. New moons, just like they sound like, they are the potential for a new beginning. I always say always focus more on your intentions, but especially on a new moon. For you specifically, this new moon has to do with your relationships. Any one-on-one relationship, definitely romantic relationships, but also business partnerships, a best friend, a family member that you may be very close to, any kind of relationship where it feels like they're kind of your partner in some kind of way. That's what I'm talking about. So this may be an excellent time for reevaluating those relationships. Are they balanced in your life? Do you have any new intentions for maybe just changing the nature of a current relationship, maybe starting some kind of new relationship, or falling away from a current relationship? This is a time for thinking about potential changes in that whole part of your life. This could also be a time where there's some kind of new beginning for someone in your life that is involved with you in some kind of relationship like this. So there may be something new going on with them. Maybe they're changing their identity, in relation to you, etc. Wednesday, December 13th, this is where Mercury retrogrades from, it turns retrograde. Mercury turns retrograde at 8 degrees Capricorn today. This is a big deal for you as well because Mercury is your ruler, right? So you may feel this a little bit more than most people, most signs will feel it. So basically, from our perception, Mercury's turning, retrograde. You probably know what that means. On the one hand, for all of us, it's a time of kind of going backward, rethinking different parts of our lives. For you, Mercury, remember, Mercury's in your 8th house, right? So going forward, you may be kind of rethinking your investments, especially shared investments. How are you supporting yourself in the long run, in the long term, right? And how does the way you're supporting yourself in the long run affect other people, or how do other people affect your support systems, your investments, etc. Again, you may be rethinking all of these different types of dynamics. There could also be information coming from the past. So maybe past investments that you've made, you may be maybe gaining from those or getting information from those, learning about those past decisions you've made, past investments, shared resources from the past. This could also have to do with roommate situations. In all of these areas, Mercury turning retrograde in this area, it's showing change there, and it's showing that you are, one way or another, you're going to kind of, what's the word? You're gonna get a lot more information here. You're processing something. You're integrating something involving those finances, investments, and shared resources. Wednesday, December 21st. I don't know why this keeps going backward. This is supposed to be December 21st. There we go. This is the day where Sun leaves Sagittarius and enters Capricorn. So now, briefly, we've got Sun and Mercury in Capricorn. This is showing really, again, a really strong focus on your investments, finances, shared resources, etc. Sun in this area shows that's where the energy is. That's where the general focus is going forward. Okay, but only a couple days later, on December 23rd, Mercury will leave Capricorn and enter Sagittarius, your 7th house. So basically, you've got some unfinished business having to do with your relationships. There may be something going on with one or more of your one-on-one relationships. Something may have been going on there that you haven't completely understood or appreciated. So with Mercury going back into this area, there could be events or information from the past involving your relationships that you are now kind of becoming aware of on one level or another, maybe gaining some kind of increased understanding on, or changing your perception in some kind of other way. This could also have to do with past relationships becoming more relevant for you now. Sorry, I hit the microphone. But past relationships, so people from the past kind of popping up again. Mercury retrograde is famous for like exes texting you or calling you or something. This could also have to do with, any past relationship, though, any past partnership coming into the forefront as well. But again, I want to stress it's not just about people from your past. It's also about gaining information from the past on current relationships as well. So this whole process may not be the most fun, but it's very important because you are integrating, you're processing in order to gain a more thorough understanding of the nature of your relationships. All right. That's ideally what's happening anyway. For December 26th, we've got a full moon that will happen at 4 degrees Cancer. I always say full moons are not just about the moon. What it really is a moon-sun opposition. So moon at 4 degrees Cancer opposing the sun at 4 degrees Capricorn. It's highlighting not just Cancer, but also Capricorn, and the whole Capricorn-Cancer axis. For you, this is lighting up your second 8th house axis. This has everything to do with finances, income. Again, it's those investments, resources. On a more general level or more abstract level, it's kind of just highlighting how you support yourself in the long run in general. So money, not just money, but also, where are you investing your time, your energy? Where are you investing yourself emotionally as well, etc.? It's all of that and more. So with the full moon happening in that area, definitely expect the unexpected. There could be sudden changes with the way, you are supporting yourself. This could be a time of culmination of investments or shared resources, changes there. What else? There could be also just a lot of activity involving your finances. So you could make a lot of money around this time. You could spend a lot of money around this time. There's money coming in, money going out, and you're just changing this part of your life in general. All right. Full moons are not really good or bad. It's just a time of increased activity in general. It's dramatic, right? December 29th, Venus leaves Scorpio and enters Sagittarius. So again, this is kind of a mixed bag for you. On the one hand, Venus is as far away from your sign as possible. So it's showing that you are not like the biggest social butterfly right now. You're not necessarily the one that is so charismatic and like being bombarded by like Venus energy. Venus makes things pleasurable, desirable. So with Venus as far away from your sign as possible for, the next few weeks, it may be more difficult for you to directly connect with what you find pleasurable. You may have to kind of think outside of the box. Also with Venus and Sagittarius, it's showing that the pleasure, the desire, it's lighting up those relationships for you. So again, you can kind of enjoy yourself vicariously through your relationships. The people that you are involving yourself with, they are the ones that may be more charismatic, more pleasurable. You may be enjoying their company a lot more moving forward, etc. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. So I'm going to move on. All right, and then last thing I'm going to talk about in this forecast is December 30th. This is the day where Jupiter turns direct at 5 degrees Taurus. For everyone in general, we are connecting with Jupiter's energy in a more literal, more direct way. Just like it sounds like Jupiter direct, it's going to affect us more directly going forward. So Jupiter makes things abundant, fun, adventurous, optimistic. However, let's keep in mind where Jupiter is for you. Jupiter is in the 12th sign away from your sign, right? It's in Taurus, which kind of represents your subconscious, your spirituality. Planets in that area are kind of difficult for you to connect with because they are ethereal. They're kind of non-physical in nature, right? So with Jupiter turning direct here, it's showing an abundance or an optimism for you that is more centered on alone time and spirituality. You may really, really just enjoy, I don't usually say that. You may really enjoy time spent alone. You may kind of want to retreat a little bit and kind of go into your own world. You do have, very vivid imaginations. Whatever placements you have in Gemini, you've got an active mind. You've got a vivid imagination. So you may just enjoy that alone time. You could also have a lot more learning or expansion through your spirituality moving forward as well. Okay, that's pretty much it. So it is a multifaceted month for you for sure. Like I said in the intro, the main focus is on your relationships. However, I do think this is an opportunity for you to, maybe revitalize those relationships. What are your intentions with your relationships? Do these relationships benefit you? Do they benefit the other person as well? This is a time for thinking about all these things, and again, maybe falling away from certain relationships or strengthening other ones, or just otherwise changing the dynamic of those relationships. That's kind of the bottom line for you as far as I can see. So that's pretty much what I have for you. Have a great month, Gemini. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.